Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Anand from educatetheworld.co.uk. Today, briefly, we are going to talk about studying medicine and a medical degree abroad, especially in Europe.
Hi, my name is Priya. I am the admin for educatetheworld.co.uk. We have Aditya. He is a fifth-year medical student at Nottingham University, and he's going to be talking about alternative options if things don't go well on results day.
Hello, everyone. I wanted to talk briefly about what the options available to you are on results day if things don't go as planned. So the most important thing to do is preparation. In the days leading up to results day, you need to get on a pen and piece of paper the contact numbers of all the admissions teams of the universities that you've applied to. If on results day you find out that you've just about missed your offer by a few marks, it's very critical here at this time period, because what you need to do is you need to get on the phone with the admissions team of these medical schools and ask them. You say to them, I've just missed my grades by a few marks. Is there any chance that there's anything we can do here? There's other options available as well. There's also clearing. So each year, a certain number of universities will have a small number of seats available for medicine in clearing. So likewise, like you have the numbers for the admissions team, you should also have numbers available for the clearing teams. Here you can bring them and ask. And this doesn't just go for the universities you've applied to. This can be any university. It's just important. The main thing that I stress here is doing all the preparation beforehand, because you wake up on results day. It's a very, very hectic day, and you need to make sure that you are well prepared for what's about to happen. So yeah, my main advice here is getting all the contact numbers and just speaking to as many universities as you can. Thank you.
Now we have Kirtana. She's a second-year medical student in Sofia University in Bulgaria. She's from London, and she is going to be talking about studying medicine in Europe.
Hi, I'm Kirtana, and I currently study in Bulgaria. I think to study in Europe, research is important, and to find which countries offer, for example, Bulgaria, Poland, Serbia, there's also Czech Republic. And you can also contact these universities privately, for example, emailing or calling them, and get the application process from them. However, I would say an agency is the best to go through, since they help you with the whole process, which it's a bit long, and loads of documents are required for it. So they help you with the legalizing and notarizing documents, which is required, since they required for them to be able to take you in. So you can choose agencies depending on your budget and how they'll help you throughout. For example, some only help with application process. However, some can help with applying, moving in, and helping you with the visa process for the country as well. For me, I'd say expenses are per annum around £15,000, including the university tuition fees, living expenses, and rent or any other additional add-ons. And so the university course is 6 years, and so the first 3 years are preclinical, and then the last 3 are clinical years. And travel-wise, I think it's quite easy to get back from Bulgaria for me to the UK, since it's a 3-hour journey. However, usually we get breaks between each semester, so we have 2 semesters, and for example, the first one would be Christmas time, and then the second one for summer holidays. And knowing the language, I feel, is important. For example, Bulgarian, it's helpful to know, which they do teach in the first 3 years. it's compulsory to learn, but the language of instruction for the course is all in English, and the professors will teach you and examine you in English as well. However, Bulgarian it's good to know. It's quite handy if you're outside to talk to locals, or when you're conversing with patients in clinical years, they may not know English, so it's best to talk in Bulgarian and know a little bit at least for that. Thank you.
Finally, we have Dr. Rashika, who is a trauma FY1 doctor trainee in King's College Hospital, London. She's from Oxford and she studied medicine in Prague, Czech Republic.
I would just like to talk a little bit about how I actually went to Prague. Generally, there is an examination process that's similar to, I think, in Bulgaria. You can choose between, you have the option of doing 3 out of 4, and the 4 options are biology, chemistry, maths, and physics. There is also, I went through an agency where I did 6 months of actually living in Prague and kind of studying for this exam. So I was in a similar situation where I didn't quite get the grades that I needed to get into a university in England. So I went through Abbey College, and I think there are a few agencies as well. There are 3 faculties in Prague. There's first, second, and third faculty. And there are also other universities that do medicine. There's one in Hradec, there's one in Palacky, and then there's another one in Pilsen. I chose the first faculty, but I think they're all equally reputable places that you can actually, that are recognized to be able to come back to England with. So yeah, the general living cost is a bit lower than it would be in England, but the fee is a bit more. So it's roughly around 13 to 15,000, depending on where you go, and you can't take any loans, so you do have to be able to fund it yourself, or like have some help with that. Once you actually get there, some things that you should be aware of. So it is 3 years of preclinical studies. So it's mostly in a big lecture hall. And also there'll be some which are like more practical, but not with dealing with actual patients. And during that time, you're also taught Czech as a compulsory thing. And then there are 3 years of just clinical years where it is meant to be a lot more hands-on with actual patients, but do be aware that like a lot of the general public, especially if they are just Czech, they won't speak English. So it is really helpful to know the language, and it also kind of immerses you into like general life and as someone who's living in the Czech Republic. So I do really recommend that. Generally, I think I got to go home roughly around like a month, 2 months, like every couple of months when I miss my mum's cooking, I would go home. And it's just an hour and a half on the flight to come back to England. So it's very doable. And usually the exam system, all of the exams are oral. So I think it really prepares you to be able to speak and to be able to collect your thoughts in a way that you can present them. So there aren't so many exams which are written. So that's quite a big key difference between the education in the UK and the education in Prague. The exams are split so that you have 2 main exam periods, and you can choose when you want to do your exams. So if you want to do your exams earlier, if you choose to do them all really early and kind of cram a little bit, you can get like a 2-3 month summer vacation. But if you kind of take your time with it, you have to be aware, you book them yourselves. There'll be dates released for all the exams. So you have to kind of manage your own time, and that's something that's really important, like just being very independent with your studies, because there's quite a big leap, I think, from school, and you do have to be aware that especially in the first year of medical school, at least in my faculty, in the first faculty, they kick out a lot of people. So do be aware that like it might not be quite so relaxed and laid back like it might have been if you went to a university in England for the first year at least. And then I managed to get into King's College Hospital, which is amazing, and I'm so happy. But to do that, I really recommend doing things like clinical attachment. So if you do get a long summer, or if you finish your exams early, I really recommend spending some time shadowing if you know any doctors around. Also, I'm also someone you can try and reach out to. I just really recommend having that exposure to the NHS and how it works, because it is very different from the way that you learn and the kind of way that the hospital works in the Czech Republic. So yeah, it's really it's one of the things that they ask you in an interview when you're applying in the UK. Like, do you know what an FY1 does? I think it's very theory heavy, the way that we learn in Prague. So I think it's definitely worth knowing and like refining your clinical skills by like doing clinical attachments. And yeah, I'm really grateful to have gotten a job. But yeah, thank you.
Hope you found this brief information helpful. If you want any clarifications, do not hesitate to contact me. Good luck to everyone. Bye.